Welcome to the third episode of The Icon Edit, the podcast where we have honest conversations about women's success journeys, career opportunities, and defining business moments. My guest today is none other than the wonderful Irene, who is not only an Instagram influencer, as we now say content creator, and fashion guru, but also a professional stylist and fashion magazine writer. Irene, welcome to the podcast and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, everyone, for having me. It's great to be here.
Irene, when I started this podcast, you were one of my dream guests, to be honest, because I'm a big fan, I have to admit. But I'd love for you to introduce yourself in a few words on your own.
Okay, I guess kind of everything that you said. I mean, content creator / fashion stylist / fashion writer, kind of jack of all trades, really.
Okay.
It's kind of like every kind of step has emerged into another one and another one. So I have this like trajectory of doing a few different things, but all kind of going back to fashion mainly, you know. And I suppose you could throw in a bit of UGC content creation there now also. I'm doing a bit of that for brands. So I create the content for them and then they would use it themselves on their own platforms. So yeah, it's just kind of a bit of everything at the moment.
Okay, that sounds great. We will talk about your journey in a little while. In our pre-show chat or preparation, you mentioned that in the world of Instagram creators and fashionistas, it's hard to be seen as someone who's almost 50. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is? Because I imagine there are many women in that age range that consume this kind of content.
True. I mean, that age bracket. Okay, so I'm 48. Okay, so in January I'm going into my last year of my 40s, which kind of terrifies me a little bit. It's like, should I be marking this in some way? Because you're not going to get that back, right? So, and then I've 1 year basically till I'm 50, and that's quite the milestone. It's quite the age. I mean, on one side, obviously, we're all blessed to be growing older and to be, you know, to celebrate it. But on the other hand, you're like, oh my God, I'm really old now. It's just like, you know, you start getting your reading glasses. You start, you know, the perimenopause symptoms are real. Like everything is just very, I guess, intense when as you head into the late 40s and 50s. But also on the side, they're also very freeing. The you know, as you get older, you know who you are. You feel comfortable in who you are. And you feel you're just, you know, a lot more confident. But in saying that, and then a lot of people, older people, I mean, when I say older, 50 is not even old. Like I don't know where, like I have this thing, it's like, it's not. It's like, but I mean, everyone seems to forget about the generation, like I'm going to call it Gen X. Or no, am I Gen X?
You are Gen X.
I am Gen X, yes. So like, you know, they're the people that have money. They've lived, you know, their kids are older, you know, they're looking at retirement, they're consuming a lot of social media, they're buying a lot from social media. But I'm finding personally, and I've lived in Dubai for over 22 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, look, Dubai is a young person's place. You know, you come here as a single person, you can make a great life for yourself. There's great opportunities. But it's great for young people to be here. You know, there's a great freedom here. You know, it's fun. There's beach clubs. There's nightclubs. There's ladies' nights. It's brilliant as a young person for men and women. And you know, the place Dubai and the UAE is geared up for that, which is great. But at the same time, I feel in my industry, getting older, I don't feel as seen. I feel like there's a place for you. You know, you're older now. Okay, you're not in the same bracket as someone in their 20s. You know, it's like in terms of looks, in terms of everything. And it's like, I'm trying to navigate that myself a bit too. And it's like, I'm always the oldest. Like whenever I go anywhere, I always feel the oldest. Like I'm the oldest. Mm-hmm. Like for example, going to an event in Dubai. I mean, you're in a room full of 18-year-old TikTokers, and you're like, okay, I all of a sudden feel really old. Like I'm just going to go get my Zimmer frame in the back. But so it's trying to find a bit of a find where you belong. in that kind of older age bracket.
Yeah.
Within the whole industry in Dubai here, the fashion, the kind of, the lifestyle kind of realm. So, it's because, like, for example, if I went to an event, say in the UK, in London, or in Ireland, where I'm from, there's a lot more, I feel, diversity when it comes to like age, especially. Like I remember being to an event in London before, a fashion event, and there was ladies there like with their grey hair, silver hair, older, and it's like I felt like I could relate to them more. I'm like, these are my people. I feel like, whereas like here in Dubai, when I go to events, it's like, okay, I'm definitely the oldest person in the room. I'm definitely the oldest. So that's kind of like, that's my comparison, I suppose,
Yeah, but maybe you are kind of pioneering this a little bit, right?
God, I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I'm like, where are all my nearly 50-year-old girls? Like, where are we?
I mean, there are like some very famous ones. Like, let's look at Caroline Stanbury, right? I think she is almost 50.
Yes, yeah.
So she's like one of the older ones, let's say.
Yeah.
And she's doing a great job at that. She shows you how you can be as a 50-year-old, because I remember when I was a kid, 50-year-olds look totally different than they look now, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like even, looking at movies and parents were, like was the father of the bride. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
They look like they're in their 70s and they were like 45. It's like, so yeah, Caroline is great. I mean, I have to say, I really enjoy her podcast, and I feel like I can relate to a lot of what she's saying about getting older, having older kids, like kids in their, teenagers. So yeah, no, there is something in that by kind of paving the way a bit, So
you have mentioned that you were Emirates cabin crew before, and I mean, what gave you the courage to make the leap from being there and then doing your own thing now?
Basically having kids.
Okay.
So I knew once I'd got married and like I really wanted to have kids, and I was like in my like mid 30s, and I was just like, well, I need to start having kids now, because what if I can't have kids? I need to start trying. And I was like, so I really wanted to have kids. So, and, luckily for me, I was able to have my kids. And when I got pregnant with my daughter, I obviously once you're pregnant, you're pregnant. You kind of have to let the airline know ASAP, because you can't be flying at like, I don't know, like even like 12 weeks, 15 weeks, like it can be quite dangerous. Yeah, exactly. So once I found out I was pregnant, I went on kind of like unpaid leave, and I kind of knew I wouldn't go back. So so I hung up my wings after I had my daughter and resigned, and I was a mom, and I kind of like threw myself into that world. Funny enough, I kind of like really missed my Emirates days in the early days of being a mom, like those newborn days where they're really hard, you're tired, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know who you are anymore. And I really missed my Emirates days. I missed the me time. I missed checking into a hotel and having my routine, and just like putting on the uniform, walking through the airport with the hat. I just missed the glamour, the me time. It was very different, to, like being a mom was just very different, the polar opposite to being crew. And then, and the kind of like, I don't know when it started, but I kind of thought, well, is this who I am now? Like, what else am I going to do? Flying has a shelf life. Cabin crew has a shelf life. I think once you reach 50 with Emirates, you kind of have to resign. You kind of reached your end there. But I was like, well, what am I going to do now? And obviously, I love being creative. I always loved fashion, and I kind of like started a blog, like a WordPress blog. I did it myself. I learned on YouTube how to make your own WordPress blog. So I did that. I called it Gingham and Sparkle, because I loved gingham. And all my friends who were having babies were all like starting their own businesses, and they're all like making kids bibs and making, I don't know, kids little shoes. They were all doing all these like little fun little kind of businesses. And I was like, I want a business. I want to do something. And so I started my blog. And then I remember like, you know, for content wise, I remember going to the Body Shop and spending a fortune, because Body Shop's not cheap, spending a fortune on like all these new body creams that they just, you know, released. And I mean, I wasn't on any PR list. I didn't know anyone. I was just like, okay, this is what you do. You go and you buy the stuff and you review it and you talk about it and then you do a blog post. So I did that. So I was buying my own stuff and reviewing it myself. And then, you know, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved the writing. I loved pressing publish.
Yeah.
And then this article was all mine, is on the internet, and it's mine. I loved that. Absolutely loved it. And then I suppose I was pregnant with my son then, and then Instagram kind of was happening. And I started an Instagram page. But I didn't realise you weren't meant to have a private page, you were meant to have a public page. So my Instagram was private for a long time, because I was like, why would I want strangers following me? Why would I want people I don't know looking at my private like stuff? And because on Facebook, that was it. Your friends and your family followed you. That was it. You wouldn't like let anyone that you didn't know follow you. So I just thought Instagram was the same thing. So for ages I was private and I didn't realise, I see, you grow because other people follow you. So anyway, so eventually I realised what was Instagram, what it was all about. So I basically, I went from there. I called my Instagram was also Gingham and Sparkle. And I kind of like put up a bit of lifestyle, you know, mum stuff. I remember, I think the first PR agency that invited me to an event was Tish Tash. Mm-hmm. And I went to like a mommy event or something. And then it kind of went from there.
Yeah.
It just went from there.
Once you're in, right?
Once you're in. And it was basically more, I still kind of like, even though I had kids, I wasn't really a mommy blogger.
Yeah.
That was not really my thing. It was always the fashion.
Yeah.
Like even my blog, it was all fashion. I would put up some outfit pics and then I would talk about the outfit, like in an article, like a little blog post. So that was I always did that, always. So,
how has as your career evolved, how has your style changed, you think?
Yeah, it has changed a lot. It's gone. Well, when I say that, I love having an outfit coordinated. That was always me. I always loved that. I love kind of mixing and matching. It's probably got a bit more streamlined in so far as I wouldn't be into, say, for example, certain prints that much. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't. Don't give me a floral. I probably wouldn't even wear a floral anymore, unless it was like a Farm Rio one or something. It has to be a specific floral. I'm a bit fussy now, especially with prints. I'll only wear like stripes or polka dots, or you know, I wouldn't really wear gingham now that much. I would be like, oh no, like even though my blog, my actual blog page was called Gingham and Sparkle, I wouldn't really choose to wear gingham now. So it's a bit more like plainer block colors, you know, kind of like more neutrals, and then I love a trend. I've always loved a trend, and I don't think I'll ever change from that. You know, like the scarves now. You know, like I have one on me today. You know, but that's so wearing it around your waist. Like, so I love a trend still, but I think in terms of like being a bit more streamlined. Yeah. I love tailoring. I wouldn't really wear, like, I suppose, I never really wanted to dress like frumpy or anything like that. You know, I don't know. I kind of always try to put myself together. Mm-hmm. You know, even on the days where I'm up to here with kids, or, you know, just like, I always felt if I got myself dressed and felt really nice, then I'd feel good.
This is so interesting, because last week I had a real estate agent here, and she said the same. She said, like, I asked her if she has any advice for women. She says, get up, dress yourself, like then you feel better, and you're like feel you have something to do, or you're supposed to do something.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Like, you know, as much as like I love being in my pajamas at home.
Yeah.
You know, like literally, I'll go home after this and I'll probably get into my pajamas.
Yeah.
But I feel like some days you get up, like just like make yourself put on a nice outfit.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't even have time to put makeup on, just wear something nice. You
Yeah.
know, and just like and maybe do something, put your hair up or something like that. You know,
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you've a bit of a purpose. You've done something today.
Yeah.
You've actually got dressed nicely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're working with both local and global brands, and I imagine you get quite a few inquiries for collaborations. How do you decide which partnerships align with your brand, and what makes you say no?
Okay, yeah, I like this question. It's very easy for me. Like oh my God, with global brands, especially if they're a brand that I've grown up with in Ireland, or I know of, or I've bought, or I've used, or I've recommended, it's an instant yes for me. You know, there's certain brands like your M&S, your Next, for example, you know, your Primarks, your H&M's, Zara, all those brands. I've been shopping with them and buying with them since I've been earning my part-time money when I was at school or college, you know, that kind of way. So that's an instant yes for me, because that resonates with me. That's part of what my childhood or my, you know, growing up. So I suppose I really try and think about me, like, okay, so for example, I'm not a mommy blogger. I wouldn't really do anything with child focus, because my kids will not be in any of my content. Yeah. It's cringe for them. Like if even if I begged them, they wouldn't be in it. Like it's their worst nightmare. So if it's anything fashion related that I would personally wear, I would be, let's look at it, you know. Let's have a talk. But it's definitely has to be something that I would get value out of. Yeah. It's not. I'm not one that like will just take on any collaboration, even if it's paid, because because it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't think I could put my all into it, because I'm not really enjoying it, because I don't like it.
Yeah.
So that would be a big thing.
Was there any like career defining collaboration for you, or something like a breakthrough moment as a content creator?
Well, the most recent one I think I can think of is when Next brought me to London last April. I think it was last April, for a week. All expenses paid, like amazing hotel, just everything. It was just the most enjoyable, just inspiring week in London with the brand. You know, photo shoots and events and dinners, and it was just, I felt like it was kind of reminded me of my Emirates days.
Yeah.
You know, going to a nice hotel in a big city again, and you know, going out for dinner. It was just, it brought all that back to me, and I really enjoyed it, and I felt like, wow, this brand wants to bring me over to their headquarters and show me, you know, where they are based, and I loved it. It was amazing. It was really good.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
I mean, fashion is a very fast-changing industry, right? And there are, as you said, a lot of trends. Is there some trend that you absolutely do not like? And what has helped you stay consistent in your authenticity?
Okay. So talking about trends, I know exactly what I'm going to say. I just can't get over the whole Labubu thing still. I am God. I feel like I'm going to judge you if you have a Labubu now.
Yeah.
And you're hanging off your expensive...
If you're over 12.
Yes. And if you're... Even my 12-year-old wouldn't have one.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, no.
Okay.
But like, even if I see someone like, and they're hanging off their bag, I'm just like, what is the purpose of this? What are we doing here? What is this for? You know, I just can't. I would never buy into that, and I think I'm quite open. I have spoken before how I just don't get them. I don't like them. I feel like it's just like a big, massive, ugly teddy bear hanging off your bag. Yeah. So I can't get on board with those.
I mean, feel the same. By the way.
Yeah. But yeah, there's other like clothes I probably wouldn't be on board with either. But for me, instantly I can think of the Labubu. And the other part of the question was how to be consistent, is it?
Yeah, in your like authenticity, because I think to not jump on every trend, you know, that comes along.
Yeah, no. I kind of think about, okay, am I going to be wearing this in a year's time? I kind of think, will I be able to incorporate it into my wardrobe in some way in 6 months or in a year's time? Or how will I use it? So for example, I'll give you an example of this. Adidas. So Adidas, obviously everyone knows Sambas, Specials, everything. I mean, they're like the trainer to have, and they have been, in fairness, the last couple of years, and there's no slowing down. So I'm a big Adidas fan, like huge of the brand. That's one brand I would love to work with, by the way.
Adidas, and I haven't, if you hear this.
Hi, Adidas. So I've obviously, I'm a big fan. I have quite a few pairs, but I'm still wearing them. I'm still loving them. They're very relevant still. And yeah, like if I can see myself wearing them in about a year's time, I kind of like, okay, let's look at it. So that's kind of how I base it on that, you know. But like there are fads that last a season, you know, and then
leopard print. I mean, I love leopard print, but I know that next year nobody will wear leopard print.
Yeah, but then leopard print about a year ago, was it a year or maybe the autumn before? Huge. Then this season is a bit more cow print.
Yeah.
But leopard never.
It will come back.
Leopard's a neutral.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but leopard is a neutral. I always say it. It's one of those that even if you have it in your wardrobe, you'll still pull it out, you know, in a year's time, and it'll still look good. Polka dots is another one. Yeah. Polka dots are great. They're trending now. And you know, there's certain trends that will always have a place. I feel.
That's true. Mm-hmm. How do you handle negative comments? Because this is something I'm sure every creator has to deal with. How do you, like, especially in a space where constantly youth, perfection and trends are celebrated?
Do you know what? I think it's an easy one. I feel like, I don't know what it is, as I've gotten older, they don't even bother me. Like, I actually kind of laugh. It kind of amuses me. I kind of nearly look forward to a negative comment. I'm like, okay, what are we going to have here now? How do I not even how do I respond? Like, how do I feel about this? You know, I feel like definitely age plays a big part in this. Like, you feel like you don't care and it doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
And maybe my 20-year-old self would have felt way more upset if I get a negative comment. But I mean, I have to say, if I put up a reel, for example, and it, you know, goes a bit viral, that's when you start attracting crazy, wild comments, like wild. I mean, I put up a post there about a month ago, about a Marks and Spencer's jacket. Okay, it was just like a check jacket. I loved it. It was the last one in the shop. I was like, I mean, you talk about a trend. I mean, I was just like, I need to have this. It was viral, this viral jacket that I needed to have. I got it. Well, the comments, I mean, thank God I have a thick skin, because they were wild. They were gone crazy in the comments about this jacket. People were not liking it. A lot of people didn't like it. But, you know, I kind of like water off a duck's back, you know. I was just like, you know, that's their opinion. That doesn't really affect me. I mean, I still love the jacket. Yeah, it's not really. But then
change.
I have to say, like, I know some people will say maybe you don't do this, but if they were really not nice, I would delete the comments. Yeah, because I don't want negativity on my page.
Yeah. And it's your right. I mean,
my page, my rules. I'm like, if you're going to come and, you know, say something really negative and maybe something towards me, like really like degrading towards me, like say something about my appearance or something, delete. You know, I don't want, like, you know, even down the line, if my kids were ever on Instagram, I don't want them looking at those comments, which, you know, they're like, why would someone say that? So I would, anything really bad, I would like delete.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, but I don't really get really many unless a post goes viral. Then it goes crazy.
And then attracts people who usually don't follow you, I guess. Or
they just find it, and then that's their time to, like, put a little trolling comment there. Yeah. But, like, because it goes worldwide, right? When a post goes viral like that, it hits everyone. So you don't even know where it's going. It's just like, where, you know, but yeah, so.
One of your most popular series is What's in the Shops or What's in the Stores. And I really like this one, where you take followers into boutiques and shops and you show what's new, what's interesting and what's not. How did that idea come about? And what's your creative process when you do this?
So I've kind of been thinking about that for a while. Like I used to say, for example, like go to Zara and I'd put up on my stories, like I'd take some pictures about like, you know, oh, I like that. And in my stories, people were loving it. They were like, oh my God, I love when you do this. You know, oh, brilliant. It saves me a trip to the mall. And then other women are like, you know, we work full time. So this is ideal to see what's in the stores or what's in the shops without actually getting in your car and driving there, you know, because people just are like, people don't have time in Dubai. You know, time is money.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
so when you're working full time, and working full time in Dubai means working long hours. So a lot of people just don't have time to go to the malls, park, you know, walk around. They would just love to see on their little screens what's in the shops. So I just thought, you know what, let's try do this as a little series and see where it goes. And I started it. It's been a good few months now, I think, and I'm really enjoying it. So I kind of started off like with a little mini microphone and walking around, but I felt like such a pleb. I felt like is everyone looking at me? I felt like such an idiot, as we say in Ireland, which is like the same as idiot. And I was like, oh God, I can't do this. This is so cringe. Then I got a tiny little mic that sits there like a magnet. That's very inconspicuous. You don't really notice it.
Like a little spy.
Yeah, a little like nobody knows you're wearing a microphone. Because I'm just not that person that stands there with a mini mic. I'm not that person. I just feel like a bit of a, you know, okay, no, everyone's looking at me. I can't. So then it went from going around the shop with the little mini mic to filming and doing one part, you know, walking into the store, like, you know, what's in the shops, you know, and then I just say, oh, hey, Zara, or hey, H&M, and then I do the voiceover at home. Because,
I thought that you were doing voiceover.
Yeah, because you can get more in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if someone is there in your way and you're trying to film and then you start like talking about this, look at this amazing new skirt that's in, like, and they're like listening to you, I'm just, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't. I just, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
So,
that's what our kids would call cringe, right?
Exactly. So I just do the voiceovers at home and they're all about 3 minutes long. I mean, some of them, they're probably a bit too long. And I mean, I always kind of applaud people who sit through the whole 3 minutes, like, well done. But there's always so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And once I start talking, I can't stop.
I love that series, by the way, because also when you look, of course you could go to the store's website and scroll through what's new, but it's different when you see it like someone showing it in real life.
When you see it through the eyes of somebody
else. Not on the
else.
product picture,
Exactly. It's kind of like on what they think of it, and you're like, you're not sure, but then this person has said they really like it and would look really well with this pair of jeans or that top, or then you're like, oh yeah, it would. So it's kind of helping people to kind of like get ideas in their own wardrobes with new pieces in the stores.
By the way, I bought 2 things that you have shown: the shoes, the shoe Q shoes. The sandals, and I bought the burgundy mango bag.
Oh yeah, I love that bag.
It's so nice. I love it. I just don't have any shoes to wear with them now, so I need to buy shoes.
I need to look for shoes, and then I'm gonna put it on. I think I'll go today and do another video, and I'll find a pair of burgundy shoes for you.
Yeah, that would be lovely. I love that. Perfect. So you mentioned Adidas, but what other brand would be like your dream collaboration?
Oh gosh. Well, I have to say, and I could only because they don't collaborate with anyone. Well, unless you're like a famous model. I think Zara would be up there because I've, you know, historically for 25, 30 years shopped in Zara, you know, and that's but who else? I think, Adidas is up there. Any kind of really nice premium high street brands I'd be so excited to work for, you know, or work with. I mean, already I'm working with some of my dream brands. You know, next, you know, Marks and Spencer's. For me, they're my dreams because they're very much me. They're what I stand for. I grew up with them. So, and in terms of another one, Never Fully Dressed, which I have worked with too. They're also a really like another brand that I've always bought and always worn. But yeah, I just need to get Adidas because I buy a lot of Adidas. Oh, another one would be ASOS. I'd love to work for ASOS. Yeah. Again, another one from day one.
Yeah,
I've always shopped in ASOS, always, and I still do. So they would be particularly global brands like that because I have an audience in Ireland, I have an audience in the UK, I've kind of like followers kind of around the world also, not just here. So I feel like global brands like that really resonate to everyone.
Makes more sense for your audience, right?
Exactly, yeah.
What would your advice be for women who want to grow online and don't want to lose their sense of self along the way?
Okay, so that's a really good question, actually. What I would say is, first of all, you're going to have a lot of noise around you. When you start posting or you start your Instagram or your TikTok, whatever, try not focus too much on what everyone else is doing. Try and stay focused on you. Just, if you have to mute people, mute them. Because if that means that you will have a clearer vision of what you want to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to normalize that more because you're the one who wants to grow for you and you want to do it for yourself. Just ignore the noise around you. I find that helps me because I feel like once you start looking at what other people are doing, you start comparing yourself. And that's human nature. We all do it.
Yeah.
And comparison, as we all know, is the thief of joy. So once you stop comparing yourself and just focus on your mission, your goal, what you want to achieve, and just like a tunnel, just do that. And don't ignore the noise. Yeah. I always think when it comes to do my own thing and building my own, I suppose, little mini brand, me, myself and Irene, I just have to stay on that straight road.
That's such a good claim.
I know, it's like my name works out well in some respects, because mainly my name is only old women are called Irene.
I love this name, by the way.
Yes, it's a really old name. But staying on that road for yourself, focus on you and literally do not mind what anyone else is doing. That's they're doing that for them. You do whatever you're doing for you.
Yeah, that's so great. And what is your definition of success compared to when you first started? Because I guess that has changed as well, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it's been comfortable in your own skin to kind of, I suppose there's a lot of different elements. I still have imposter syndrome all the time. I still suffer from that, but I think success is kind of being happy and confident in who you are now, either online or in your business, and just having a sense of happiness. I think for me, that's what success is because, everyone has to start at the beginning. Everyone has to start somewhere and you grind and you hustle for years and years. But then you get to a stage where you just okay, can I I'm just so tired of hustling. I'm just tired now. Can I just be content?
Yeah.
So and good. Just, be happy and content. I think that's what success is.
Yeah, that's a great definition.
Yeah, because, just the stress. Life is full of little stresses and everything. Yeah. Everyone has stress in their lives. But just, I think to reach that part of your life where you're content and you know who you are, I think that's success.
Yeah. And I think that's an age thing, right?
Totally.
So is this something that you wish women in the 40s or 50s would know more about when they start something new? That being confident and knowing who you are? Or is there something else that you would say now looking back at let's say 10 years ago, something you wish you knew better than?
Yes. The thing about, exactly, you kind of wish you knew coming into your late 40s, 50s that you would become that person that doesn't really care or you're not bothered anymore about what people think, But at the same time, in your 40s and 50s for women, we all know perimenopause can bring a whole load of symptoms that you did not expect or you did not ask for, including loss of motivation, tiredness, and you just sometimes it's hard to get up in the morning. And a lot of people with menopause, they give up their jobs because they cannot cope, and it's a known thing. that is tough to navigate through. But in one sense, you also have a sense of like not really caring what others think and just going, just doing it anyway.
That makes many things easier, I guess,
yeah,
right?
It does, yeah. So if you can get through the perimenopause and the menopause symptoms, great.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I have one last question because we are already at the end. What's next for you? And are there any exciting projects or personal goals on the horizon for you?
Gosh, I haven't even, I kind of like think for next week. I don't even like look at like in the next few months. I have some actually exciting personal trips coming on, kind of like holidays / kind of trips, which will be nice and always nice and fun for content. I've that to look forward to personally. And just a couple of little nice brand collabs coming up also before Christmas. Christmas is a really nice time, like coming into the festive season, for some nice collabs with like, coming into sparkle season and I get into my element when it's sequins season always. Like once the sequins are out, I'm just like, right, I have arrived. Here we are. I wouldn't say there's any one project coming up that, that I can say I'm excited about, but there's a couple of few things happening on, in the background, which is nice.
Okay, that's so good. I love that for you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Irene, thank you so much for sharing your story so honestly and beautifully. I love how you've shown that creativity and confidence don't have an age limit, which is amazing, also for me. To everyone listening, I hope this episode reminds you that it's never too late to start something new, build your own brand and define success on your own terms. I will link Irene's pages and projects in the show notes. Make sure to check them out. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to follow the Icon Edit and share this episode with someone who might need a little inspiration today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, that was awesome. Thank you.
I really enjoyed that. I could talk forever.